Today in this video, I'm about to be talking about why there are less Gen Z people actively going to college and there's more of them going into YouTube or other things, careers like military and such. The reason I believe that a lot of them are choosing other paths in college, because me myself, I went inside college and no one was around my generation. Well, I don't want to say maybe I do. Nobody was really around my generation. There were like more so Gen Y, maybe Gen Y, but there was way less Gen Z. Like there was like no people that were like around my age either. Like there weren't any there was no one in my age bracket. Most of them were in my mom's age bracket. You know, most of them were in my mom's age bracket, which is like, 40s, late 30s, super late 30s and 40s, I want to say. But yeah, they're not, the reason Gen Z has not been doing this, it's the payback. It's like it's the withdrawals from college that they do. They suggest either more physical work, hands-on, for, oh, I want to get money this way, versus, oh, just because you knew that, I think you deserve the money. It's like, in college, it's draining. Like, I think for, like, jobs, like, getting the degree in college, like, sure, it depends which one you're aiming for and if it's actually worth it. There's people struggling. They're getting these degrees, and later they struggle finding that minimum wage job just to help them get by, you know? And it also like hurts. Again, it hurts, man, that people can't even afford certain things in their house that they want to have. Like there's people out there who don't even what was I gonna say? There's people out there who don't celebrate Christmas. There's people out there who don't celebrate Thanksgiving because, again, it requires a lot of money. And that reason, it does with the low minimum wage job issue. But other than that, the reason a lot of them would rather take up YouTube or military or like, any other jobs that doesn't require, a degree, they'll take those up. And that includes police officer. You don't really need a degree for that. You just need to be like 21 and a license, obviously. But you don't need to get a degree for it. A degree, all it does for your police thing, it helps you rank up faster, yes. And 5% extra money, which I'd say it's really a steal on their end. It's not your steal. It's really their steal. But it kind of depends on the college you go to, again, and it depends on the degree, whatever. But end of the day, you don't really need a degree for a police officer. What else would I like to say about this? Yeah, they're doing YouTube because, they find it easier and they enjoy it more. And it's not as draining like college. Like, how kids get tired of school, they say, oh, it's too much work. The same goes for college. It's too much work. It's like you expect them to do all this work and the job ends up being 10 times easier or less draining, or was this even worth it? You know what I mean? But yeah, in jobs, you would say, oh, is this worth it? Am I really gonna focus on this path? Is this the path I want? Is this the path I seek? Or this? Or do I really want this for now? Or how do I want to proceed with this? You know what I mean? But yeah, and then they're choosing the military over it because, again, in military, sure, it's life-threatening depending on what you do. It could be life-threatening. But the reason they do that over that, it's like, sure, you could die any day. You could die any day in any job. It like military, sure you have a higher risk, but I will say one thing good about it. You're not drained. You're not drained. Would you want to be tired and like barely getting by when you die? Like that's like more of like something I would say that men think in a way than women. Um because I'm a man and I think logically on things. I will be honest with you. I do think logically on things and I do emotionally. More women think emotionally than logically than them versus men. We can all agree with that. Men think more logically. Um, like my brother, for example, he thinks logically. My cousin thinks we think logically over emotionally. We don't think emotionally as much as we think logically. Like what my brother said, he said college is a waste of time. He's already in the military, but he said college is really it's not worth it. Is there's no point doing college. It looks draining as heck. Like vice versa, it really is. And you could debate that it's the same particular to a 9 to 5. It's just draining. And then what I don't like about low minimum wage, uh, some minimum wage, I'm not gonna say all, but you know, most don't accept you in. They all act like this big shot job or whatever. But yeah, this pretty much wraps up how or why Gen Z people aren't doing college. I went inside of what was it? Prairie State College. There was no one in my age bracket, no one in Gen Z. You just see Gen Y. I don't know what's before that because you know I'm Gen Z. I'm not studied that, but you just see people from Gen Y or over going back to it, and some of them look stressed, some of them look tired. You could tell like the facial expressions on people whether they actually like doing their job. You really can. Like I looked at everyone, I looked at them all. Like some of them they enjoy it, okay, but you look at like half of like the I don't want to say the staff there or like the services there, but I will say you look at half of your peers there that are like older on hand. They might sound happy, but they're stressed out. They're really stressed out, and it's not cool, bro. Because people are actually doing this stuff just to get by, and it's sickening. It really is. And then especially the people who did not want to do it, that were forced. Me, my mother hasn't forced me to do it. She just put me in for the semester. But yeah, me, I was just trying it out. I'm just trying it out. I don't actually want this whole college thing because I'm like, I can still go on what my path is. I don't need a degree for my path, you know. And this pretty much wraps up why there are less Gen Z people going to college.